Hey, what is up, y'all? Why do I always say that? Why do I say what is up? Sounds so weird. But I wanted to do this reading on 2024 in general. It's gonna be kind of a long one, but we're gonna see what lessons, what blessings were we supposed to learn and receive in 2024? What lessons do we still need to learn, and what have we, I don't want to say not accomplished, but what lessons do we still need to work on coming up for the year for 2025? Okay, so I hope everyone had a good New Year's. I hope everyone had, good people around them, good environments, good energy, good everything, right? Good blessings, and I hope this new year brings us many more blessings to come. And if any lessons are meant to be taught for us, then I hope we learn them with grace and with pride, and we take it all in and we move forward from there. Okay. So I already, I guess, cleansed. I already did what I needed to do, grounded myself. And like I said, this reading will be for whatever lessons we had to learn for 2024. So what lessons do we still have to learn for 2024? What lessons did we actually learn? What lessons still need to be applied for 2025, my guides? Thank you. All right. This is a new deck. Okay. So let's see how well this deck plays out. Okay. That is so funny. When I was shuffling this beforehand, the Three of Wands came up. So Three of Wands is definitely, um let me put that up here. A lesson we had to learn. More planning. There we go. Okay. Damn, it's a little hard to see. Okay. So overall, the Knight of Swords. So we have the action of communication, the action of um, new intelligence, new knowledge, the ability to take the step forward to communicate what needs to be said, whatever's on our mind, right? Um, the color blue overall is generally coming in for this card, and then eagles. I'm getting the sense, this idea of trusting the universe more, trusting your intuition and the universe more is the lesson that we had to learn for last year. We had to be more aware of our surroundings, be more in tune with the fact that everything around us is actually communicating with us, and being able to actually pursue that and actually find out what those, our ability to find out what those signs, what those messages were, what those downloads were, has been improved upon. So we were supposed to improve our intuition for this. Knight of Swords in general just is overall the action of communication. But I think with this overall, we were really meant to really incorporate now more our intuition with our future, with our planning, with our goals, with our knowledge now, like really trying to blend everything all together now. Maybe we weren't as in tune with everything before, but now that is a lesson that we had to learn for last year. So really understanding that everything is interconnected in some way, and being able to really understand the fact that signs, messages, animals, spirit in general is always surrounding us, right? And then being able to understand the fact that when you put your trust in something that you can't really control, not that you can't control it, but there's only so much power you have over a goal or a path, really trusting yourself that you're being guided into the right direction is really the message that I'm also getting with the Knight of Swords. So really, really being able to go forward with your intuition and not always having all the answers and still being okay with that. but sometimes the answer is in the path that we're taking, right? So also we're going to continue here with the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands in general, I feel we were supposed to travel more, I'm getting, or we were supposed to plan on expanding our horizons and our environments. Um, Maybe this fear of stepping outside of our home environment or stepping outside of our just our comfort zone in general. I feel like we really were meant to explore more, explore different cultures, explore different areas in general, maybe traveling more, I just think just in general, maybe even crossing actual oceans to different countries. Um, I think there were lessons that we were supposed to learn going to different places that we weren't able to learn where we're at right now. Because if we stay in one place, there's only so much growth you can do, right? So I think starting into next year for 2025, we really have to learn to explore outside of our comfort zones. If we didn't do that last year, if you did, keep doing it. But if you didn't, then that's something that we're going to have to incorporate into our lives. And doesn't necessarily mean exploring physically. We can always, read more, um, expand on our emotions, and really dig deeper into our own inner emotional path and being more curious and being more motivated to learn what triggers us, what doesn't, why we take the routes and the actions that we take, and really trying to dig deep as to what is affecting what in our actions. So when someone's angry, oh, okay, I'm angry, but why am I angry? Because I'm hurt. Why am I hurt? And really like following that path into what is causing what, right? So really being able to step outside our comfort zone and exploring more of our emotional depth, our physical depth, our intelligence, our motivation, our desires, our goals, our futures, like really diving more deep into that. So I feel like that's just in general what we should be doing, but I feel like that's kind of a focus for us because there's lessons that we need to learn there that even if we didn't plan so much exploration outside of our comfort zones, there's still more lessons to be learned when we do. And those lessons can't be taught or can't be learned if we're not stepping outside and exploring more, right? So I think that's the lesson. Um, a lot of birds here too. The seagulls. So the seagulls could be a sign. Ships in general could be a sign, or even I'm getting like lightsabers or even wands of light, maybe even flashlights. So this desire of like looking into the unknown and being able to explore, right? And then we have here the Two of Wands. That's in general more birds there. In general, we have the idea of having faith in the path that we choose to take. Um, the beginning stages of any journey that we're taking, whether it's emotional, mental, spiritual, whatever. Um, there's a path that no matter what we take, we are being guided, and I think it goes back to more with this one, with the Knight of Swords. We're meant to follow the light, follow our intuition, follow enlightenment, follow the truth, is what I'm getting. Um, However, right here we have a good, fun path full of nature and beauty, but then the mountains here, that's where things can get rocky. The Rocky Mountains could even be a sign, who knows? This is where things tend to be a little more uncomfortable, a little more of a climb, a little bit more of a, I don't want to say adventure, like it is an adventure, of course, but more of a, it pushes you more to grow. It pushes you, it takes more out of you, but because it takes more out of you, the further along any journey that you take, the more that you're actually going to overcome and the stronger you become. So it really pushes your limits. So with any path that you have to take, everything may seem fine at first, but sometimes it takes crossing over the mountains What's that song called? The Climb by Miley Cyrus. Maybe even climb. It's all about the climb. It's all about the journey to of overcoming. Anytime you cross over and you've overcome those obstacles, no matter how high, ain't no mountain high enough, right? Marvin Gaye. No matter how high, you can overcome. But you just got to have that faith and that trust in that intuition of yours and in that faith of yours to keep you pushing. Keep you going, keep you, yeah, pretty much keep you going. Um, but along the way, you're gonna notice a lot of signs, a lot of, I don't know why these animals are speaking to me, but I'm trying to figure out in what way. I feel like different animals of course mean different things, but because they mean different things, we're supposed to apply that as we go along. So each lesson that you're supposed to learn is supposed to be applied with the next lesson that comes into play, right? Um, I kind of want to get a little clarity on the Two of Wands. So, there's this deck that I wanted to use. Let's see. I would like some clarity on the Two of Wands, my guides, please. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, what's this? Why is this stuck? What the hell? What happened here? That was not like that before. Oh no. What the hell? Whatever. Well, that sucks. Okay, let's do one more shuffle. Clarity on the Two of Wands. Thank you. Okay. Okay. I don't know if you can see those. So clarity on the Two of Wands here. We have the Four of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. So the Four of Cups, as far as the Two of Wands, being able to see the offers and the blessings that the universe is providing for you. And in the universe, I mean either people around you, opportunities around you that you haven't been able to see. Um, when people offer you these opportunities, there's a reason they're being offered and there's a reason you're supposed to take them. If the reason is to strengthen to your intuition and not take it, that's also a reason. But you have to understand that fear is always going to hold you back. So the sense of being afraid of taking on new opportunities because of fear of failure, fear of discomfort, like I was saying, being pushed out of your comfort zone is important. So when there's a new path being offered to you, you have to take it because it could lead you to fruition. It could lead you to stability, to your Ten of Pentacles, to your Ten of anything. Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, I don't want to say Ten of Wands because Ten of Wands will be a part of it, but um, what was that other one? Ten of Swords, even. Discomfort, along with the beauty of other things, is going to be a part of any journey. So you do have to put in that faith that any lessons that you will learn along any new opportunities being offered to you will be there for a reason, right? And then with that, there's growth of spiritualism. There's growth of wisdom. You're gonna find new teachers, new mentors, new yeah, new elders, even like people older than you, maybe even people younger than you who will teach you something new that you're not, that maybe an old school mentality will be kind of triggered and broken down because there's a new perspective that you need to see, right? But you never know. Wisdom comes in all ages, in my opinion, but you have to be able to actually take the path. And if you're not taking them, that's a blessing and the lesson that you're blocking. So that's kind of what I'm getting with that. So I'm gonna put that one with that one. Two of Swords. So once again, especially with the Two of Wands, this inability to make decisions is something you need to be working on. For the 2025 and 2024, you had to work on making more authoritative decisions, being more in charge of what you want, not what you should be doing, but what you need to be doing um, for yourself. Some people will tell you, no, don't do this, try to do that, don't follow this dream, follow the practical thing, while in fact, it really should be based on what you want and what you desire and what you feel is more important because it's your life that you're living, not anybody else's, right? With the Two of Swords, we have the ability to, you know, I feel like you're good at looking at two perspectives at the same time. And that's what makes it very difficult for you to move forward because when you when you see two perspectives, you see the pros and cons of two different sides. So there you have pros and cons of the good, pros and cons of not I'm sorry, not pros and cons of one opportunity and the pros and cons of another opportunity, right? But sometimes it just takes making a decision overall. Even if it's the wrong decision, at least you made a decision because then you can learn what you did wrong and then there you go, there's the other lesson that you were supposed to learn and then move on from there, right? But this fear of failing is constantly holding us back. um Either way, a decision needs to be a decision needs to be made in order to even pursue any opportunity or any blessing that the universe is trying to offer you. And it does take sometimes, leaving people behind, leaving our comfort zone behind, right? But the right people will want you to move forward. The right people will want you to push forward and follow any opportunities and any blessings that the universe is providing for you, right? The moon is kind of speaking to me a little bit. Um, Let me get a little clarity on the Two of Swords. Ooh. Knight of Pentacles, and then we have the Knight of Cups reversed. Okay. A decision between pursuing your financial stability, your own stability in general in life, whether it's finding a new home, maybe that involves moving out of state, moving to a different city, moving to a different location, versus making a decision that's emotionally attached to you. So whether it's you're emotionally attached to your home, but the home environment that you're in isn't best for you. Maybe you're emotionally attached to a job, but the job isn't providing the right abundance for you. Maybe you're emotionally attached to a group of friends, a group of people, a person, romantically, platonically. There's love there, but no decision has been made. So I'm getting this decision of either choosing yourself or your emotional attachments. And that's what we had to learn this year. We had to learn to really decide that sometimes we have to put ourselves first. We have to push forward for our lives because even though it involves leaving people behind, we really have to be able to move forward and find different people because sometimes not everyone is meant to stay in our lives forever, no matter how well or how attached we may be to them. I think that's just a lesson we had to learn in general. When you see both, like I said, pros and cons of both the practical and the emotional, it's hard to make a decision, but the point is to make a decision in general. Something tells me putting ourselves first is a decision that we had to make last year If it's not someone that you made, most likely the opportunity will come up this year. Um, Now with the Five of Swords here, inner conflict is something that we had to learn to start letting go of. We had to learn to stop being so guarded. I'm also getting the sense of taking control of the negative situations that have been given to you. Um, when we take control of negative situations, I don't want to say physically, like trying to control the situation itself, but controlling how we feel and how we think about that situation is more about the is more of the lesson that we had to learn here. Because negative situations, no matter how much we try to avoid them, tend to find us no matter what. But when we have negative situations here, negative people, negative, I'm getting evil eye. So maybe a lot of people send you evil eye. What you do with that evil eye can only affect you so much when you give it so much power and thought and energy into it, right? If something is meant to really push you down, and the more you think about the fact that someone sent you that, and the more angry, the more vengeful, sorry, the more upset you get, you kind of give it more power, right? But you kind of have to realize that no matter how much we try to avoid the negative will always find us, because there is always a darkness to any light. And when you yourself are light, the darkness will find you, unfortunately. But I'm getting the sense with the Five of Swords, we have to be very careful with how much we hold on to that negativity, how much we allow that bad energy sent our way to overwhelm us. So we have to be more aware of not letting it bring us down so much, and really taking control of it and letting go of that when we need to. Not letting it basically stab us in the back, but really being able to carry it and let it go when we need to, right? Because there's this thing of like forgiving and then forgetting. We can forgive, doesn't necessarily mean we have to forget, right? So it's okay to be upset about something. I'm not saying don't be mad. Of course, anybody who has any emotions will feel pain, hurt, whichever it is. But just don't let it overwhelm you, and don't let it bring you down and drag you down. Don't let it dim your own light. Because there's only so much there's only so much you can do, right? And with so much power in the thoughts that we have to be able to control those thoughts for the better for ourselves, because then we're letting people who can just send us any negative energy no matter what kind of defeat us in that way, right? Because they know how personal we take things. But when we learn to be indifferent towards negative thoughts, negative energies sent our way, we really gain a power in being able to pursue, just our own happiness. And no matter how much people try to bring us down, they will notice, like, damn, no matter how much negativity, no matter how much hatefulness or how much evil eye I send this person, it doesn't bring them down. If anything, it just makes them more stronger because of how much they're able to overcome and still pursue what they want, no matter what, with no cares given to what I have to say, no matter how negative I can be. And it becomes a power, it becomes a gift and ability to do that. So really be careful with not letting all that negative energy bring you down. The horse here is kind of speaking to me. I think it's just a sense of like the fire and the horse and the power here. Like there's, I'm trying to put it into words. I'm thinking of a horse. You can't talk with a horse. You can't really communicate with the horse, but its actions, its behavior says so much. And I'm getting the sense that this is somebody who doesn't know you. Maybe they don't even talk to you, but no matter how much pain they try to bring you, your behavior doesn't show any defeat. It shows grace, it shows strength, it shows power. I'm thinking like a stallion, like power, strength, just being able to, I don't want to say run away, but being able to leave a situation because you don't like it. I don't know what that has to do with horses, but the sense of like, damn, like no matter what I try to do to bring them pain, no matter what I try to do to burn them, they just take it with stride, with grace. That's power, you know? That's kind of what I'm getting. I don't know why I'm getting it like that, but that's what I'm getting. Alrighty, so moving on to the Two of Cups. Let's get a little clarity with the Two of Cups, please. Clarity with the Two of Cups, my guys. Thank you. Thank you. The Queen of Spheres. Oh, look, the Queen of Pentacles right there, too. Okay. Two of Cups. It's time. The lesson we had to learn last year. Once again, choosing yourself over people who are not providing enough for you. I genuinely think last year, connections, romance, love in general was not a priority, but you made it a priority. I feel like connections will come naturally when you focus on yourself, when you focus on your own abundance, on your own practical environment, on building your home, building your money, building your, if you want to build a business, building your own business. If you want to take control of your own life, maybe there's people constantly trying to tell you what to do, whether it's family, romantic connections, baby daddies, baby mamas, whoever it is, trying to tell you what to do, how to live your life, what you should be doing. The sense of like facing yourself and your own, how do I say it? Not your own interests, but really relying on yourself is what the goal was for last year. Not that you should disconnect with these people if you don't have to, like I said, trusting your intuition. You know who you have to let go of. You know who's actually has good intentions. That's on you. But the sense of like facing facing any connections that you have that you are emotionally attached to, and realizing that other connections will come and go. But the important thing here is where you had to make a connection with was with yourself. Really focusing on your own growth was the goal for last year. Not growth with a person, but growth with yourself. Growth with your own way of thinking. Um, Growth in loving yourself more. Because when you love yourself more, you tend to build routines that are very, um, I don't want to say, how do I say it? You tend to build routines for yourself that are very practical, that are very mindful, that are very healthy. Um, and you had to do that for yourself. You had to face both the masculine and feminine energy for yourself. Um, Both the nurturing and the authoritative nature, you had to really focus on that, on the loving and how do I say it? On the loving and protective energy, you had to focus on that too, before yourself. It's almost like you were looking for it in someone else, but that wasn't the point. The point was to learn it for yourself. Um, when you do that, because you're doing it already for yourself, you tend to attract people who will want to do it for you. But the thing is, trying to find someone already to do it for you when you're not even doing it for yourself, or not to the fullest potential that you can be doing. Maybe you're doing it here and there, but not enough because it's a Two of Cups. You're supposed to be at a Ten of Cups or a Queen of Cups, right? And the Queen of Spheres is like, I feel like that's the energy, especially with it being right here. Your money, your health, your physical being. That includes how you think, how you eat, how you sleep, how you manage your time and your stress and your energy. That was the focus we had to do for last year. And because it's a lesson we had to learn last year, it's most likely a lesson that we're going to have to continue into next year if we haven't done it. So that's kind of what I'm getting with that one. With the Seven of Wands, we had to learn not to be so defensive. We had to learn not to be so guarded with all the opportunities of knowledge. I'm getting constructive criticism, so maybe people have tried to be constructively had tried to constructively criticize you. People who you genuinely care about, people who genuinely want the best for you. But no matter how they try to paint it, no matter how they try to really offer that criticism to you, all you get is triggered. You get angry. You get defensive. And that's an energy that we have to really learn to let go of. Kind of combines it with these two. You may think, oh, here's somebody trying to burn me, trying to make me feel bad. When in fact, no, there's no intent in making you feel bad, but because it makes you feel bad, you take it that way. Um, of course, intention and what actually happens are two very different things. Clarity on the Seven of Wands, please. But something tells me you need to learn to still take criticism because sometimes it's necessary and you're trying to avoid it. Um, your guard is always up, which is fine. You know, it's not a bad thing. But when it's against people who genuinely have been there for you, no matter what, and they're still there for you, even when you're so upset and dismissive of their criticism, it's kind of that's where you have to really think like, damn, like maybe there is something I should be working on, right? Oh, look, the Knight of Swords. There you go, Knight of Swords again. Um, learn to take the criticism that people give you to. It goes back to this message to guide you towards better opportunities, to guide you towards learning more about yourself, learning about your own path. Look, there's a horse, the horse again. Horse is definitely a big, big, big sign for this. Equestrians kind of things, you know? Um, a lot of knights too, a lot of action. There's action that had to be taken. But with the Seven of Wands, any constructive criticism given to you has to be taken into consideration. You have to really think about the things that people tell you sometimes, especially when it's a constructive criticism being given to you consistently um, by different people at different times of your life throughout the year. If they're telling you, it's for a reason, you know, especially people that you care about who genuinely are there for you and try to help you out when they can. You know, arguments tend to happen. We understand that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that arguments are always a bad thing. Sometimes we need to learn to make arguments into discussions, into learning about ourselves. There's lessons in people that we are surrounding ourselves with because there's only so much we can learn about ourselves. Sometimes there's actions that we're doing that we don't know we're kind of are coming off differently in different people to different people, sorry. So when they see this, they bring it up, and to you it's like, whoa, like back the fuck up. Like, what do you mean this and that? What do you mean I'm too defensive? What do you mean, like, well, what do you have against me, you know? Like, I thought you were my friend, I thought you were my family, blah blah blah. Like, no, I am your family, but I'm telling you that this is something you need to work on. Well, what about you? Why don't you work on this and this and that? Don't do that. Like, don't throw that type of energy to people, because if it really was necessary for that person to work on something, you would have brought it up even if it wasn't being discussed at the moment, right? Because you care about that person. Same thing with them. But you have to be careful not to criticize people in such an aggressive way. Really learn to harness that power and use it to a very constructive way. Maybe other people know how to do it better for you. Maybe that's something you need to learn how to do. Really open up and like, okay, you're right. How do I change this about me? What do you think? What is your advice? And it doesn't mean you have, I don't want to say you don't have to listen to them, but just because they say you should be doing this, use your intuition to trust them or not, right? It takes work, it takes effort. It's not like a light switch where you're like, oh, okay, I'll start doing that. No, like, it doesn't change the fact that I'm sorry, that there's still trauma attached to your childhood, to your way of thinking. You got to take that effort to really desensitize yourself to the negative things that trigger you, because when you allow such a small critique to trigger unevolved emotions, there's a reason for that, and you need to work on not allowing that trigger to overtake and control you, right? And with the Knight of Swords, I feel like you have to take a more mental approach, a more I don't want to say distant, but more of a think before you act type of thing, right? Don't let the fire take over, let the air take over. Really think about, like, they said this, now let me think about that. Like, really think about your own self and try to be, I don't want to say as calm as possible, but try to be as open to receiving these type of things as possible, because there's lessons that need to be learned from other people for you. But when you're constantly guarded, they don't want to tell you, and it makes it difficult for you to grow. You know, I think for me, one of the things that I had to learn for myself was um not, what was it? My routine, my daily routine needed to be improved upon. So I had issues, constantly sleeping in, not cleaning my room as much as I should, not being as consistent with my health, as consistent with my with my physical well-being. My mental health could be good, and not that it's the best, but I'm working on it. I'm putting an effort on it. My physical health still needs to be worked upon, and that's something that people tell me. Not everybody, but just people in general. It's like, oh, you only have one body. You can nurture your soul, you can nurture your mind so much, but when your physical body isn't being taken care of, there's issues with that, right? So, that's something I have to work on for next year. One of my New Year's resolution is no trying to not trying to going to cut back on soda, um, not eating fast food as much, cooking in, meal prepping, stuff like that. I did start it a little bit, but I wasn't consistent. So I have to learn to be like that. But because my weight has been such a trigger for me, sometimes I tend to block people out with that. I'm like, okay, whatever, like, I hear you. But in the end, there's still truth to what they're saying, right? And it's not with bad intentions, but sometimes it gets to a point where, like, okay, you've said what you needed to say. There's no need to continue saying that, and I hear you. So that's where you can put up a boundary, put up a stop to it, because there's only so much you can hear the same thing overall. But then again, you have to put in that effort of changing that, right, for yourself. So for me, that's something I have to work on. Alrighty, so we have the Queen of Pentacles here. I think I kind of covered that with this one, really focusing on your own practical routines, your own practical abundance, your own. I'm getting the sense of being happy with what you have, being happy with what you have as far as food, materials. Um, I don't want to say money, because I feel like money in general is always something we can strive for, especially these days. But just like not spending so much money in trying to build a life that you already have. And what I mean by that is, like, for example, for me, I shouldn't be going to like freaking Ross and TJ Maxx and being like, oh, I'm gonna buy these. One thing I do is I buy a lot of planners. Like, oh, I'm gonna buy these planners. I'm gonna buy these notebooks. I'm gonna go back to school and I'm gonna be like this, but I need all this. Like, no, I have plenty of stuff at home that I can use. I have plenty of planners. I have my iPad that I can use for a planner. I don't have to go and buy more stuff. Like, I have things already that are at my disposal. There's no need for me to go and spend money on things that I can use to my advantage that I already have. Amazon. Oh, I'm gonna go to Amazon and I'm gonna buy this because I need this. Oh, I need new lotions because I'm trying to take care of my skin when I have perfectly good lotion at home. Or skincare. I'm trying to buy new clothes because I'm trying to look good when there's perfectly good clothes that I have at home. Even though it's not the best, I have to make with what I have, make do with what I have because what I have is enough. I'm trying to build this image, this life, this environment for myself when I already have it. I'm just not using it to the best of its ability. So that's the thing of Queen of Pentacles. It's like she knows what she has. She knows the value of what she already has and acquires. So she doesn't really have to buy stuff to make it look good. She makes what she has look good already, right? That mentality of like using things that you have to their fullest potential. Let me get a little more clarity on the Queen of Pentacles. Peacocks are also assigned to. Um, Seven of Wands. Oh, that's funny. So let's see. Let me squish this up a little bit. So with the Seven of Wands, I think once again, let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to get a little bit of like downloads here. I'm gonna take a look here real quick. I just think overcoming your own, I think the sense of overcoming your own demons, like allowing, I'm getting inner strength, I'm getting actual strength, like physical strength. I'm also getting like this, she or he is calling to me. It's like stop making people around you walk on eggshells, is what I'm getting. Stop allowing your anger to speak for you. Stop allowing your defensiveness to speak for you. And stop, like, I'm getting inner demons. So, like, stop letting the inner demons within you trying to control you or protect you when you should be protecting your own self, right? And these inner demons have should have no control over how you are supposed to interact with people in your life, how you're supposed to live your life. So I feel this sense of like addictions, you know, low self-esteem, those things are affecting your abundance, your value, your way of presenting yourself to the world. They're really affecting you. But the inner child, the soul that you have within you is weak right now, and I think that's something you have to work on. um it's supposed to really make you feel more, your how do I say it? Not your faith, I think just in general self-esteem, like your self-esteem is really making you kind of guarded because the negative things that you think about yourself are taking over, they're in control, they're kind of maneuvering their way into taking control of how you approach life. And that's not good because there's a light within you that needs to be really shown more. But instead of a light, it's more of a fire. And the fire is burning people around you. It's burning opportunities of growth and abundance for you. Um, and you're allowing it because it's what's comfortable for you and it's what you grew up with. You grew up with people telling you not you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes, not supporting you emotionally, not supporting you physically, not supporting you mentally. Just this general idea of like darkness has been around you so long you just allowed it to take over. But there's something within you, like a gentle soul that needs to be strengthened again. Um yeah, that's what I'm getting. There's power within you, but the wrong power is in control. The power of dominance is in control, which isn't good because no one wants to be dominated, really. Like, who wants to be dominated, right? Whether it's in a job, no one wants to be taking control of in a job. At home, no one wants to be taking control of. All we want is to be heard. So it's time to really be heard. It's time to be heard. And in being heard, you're going to be strengthening your own self esteem because you're finding the courage to speak on the things that you need to be spoken about for yourself. You're empowering yourself by speaking for yourself, right? So let me get a little clarity on the Queen of Pentacles or the Seven of Wands too. Make sure it's right. Yeah, there's this sense of it's gonna sound weird, living in your own personal hell, and it's like you're surrounded by that, but find value within yourself because when you do that, there's so much power in that, right? We have art reversed. So you're not seeing the beauty within yourself, right? You're not seeing the power, the light, the strength that you have for yourself. All you see is what allowed you to survive. You're in survival mode right now when you should be in thriving mode, in abundance mode. And because you're in survival mode, anybody who tries to lend a helping hand, for anybody who makes you feel uncomfortable, you tend to bite it. Bite the hand when that's not how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to allow people to show you the hand. You're supposed to grab it and allow them to lead you the way. But in order for them to lead the way, you have to put your faith in them and their trust, and that's making it very difficult for you. It's blocking your blessings. I don't know this deck or this card too much, so let me see. Let's look at art. Transform everything into the image of your true will. Take everything to its true level of perfection. But it's reversed. So you're not seeing the value in yourself, in your life, in your environment, in the people around you. And because you're not seeing the value, you're not taking care of it. So you really have to take care of things. Nurture them, push them to their fullest potential, and that includes yourself. Okay? So that is a lesson you had to learn. Finding the value in what you have. So that is basically the general message. Maybe get a little clarity on the Knight of Swords. Clarity for the Nine of Swords. Oh. The Prince of Swords. That is the Page of Swords. Be okay with not knowing. Be okay with learning. Be okay with feeling stupid. Because even though you may look dumb because you don't know something, in the end, you're going to know it either way. And when you overcome that feeling of not feeling smart enough, um, not feeling like you're worth being taught, or not feeling like you're worth being, um, given the time, given the patience to really grow, and not and feeling like you're not worth the time and energy for someone else to put into you. Once you overcome that, it's really going to allow you to just take on your life in such a more powerful way, right? Be okay with looking dumb, because when you look dumb, you won't be dumb anymore, because now there's going to be someone there to teach you how to do things right, how to do things to the best of their ability. But you actually have to be okay with failing, because when you fail, then you know what success really feels like, right? Let me get one more clarity for the Three of Wands. Oh shit, that's three cards. Okay, so we have the Queen of Swords, the Three of Cups, which is funny because the Three of Cups is right there at the bottom, the Emperor, and the Eight of Cups. So I don't want to put this right here. Wanted to get I don't know why I felt I needed to get clarifiers on that. So we're supposed to learn to take control of our thoughts, expand upon the thoughts that we have, find our find a better company, a better group of friends, a better group of people, mentors, students, better group of friends, acquaintances, coworkers, who are really going to allow you to who are going to hype you up. I'm getting like really going to allow you to see you for the true value that you bring to the world. And then with the Emperor here, when you do that, you're going to find someone who's going to try to take care of you, who's going to feel very protective over you. But like I was saying, you got to do that for yourself too, right? For people who already are, you got to learn to balance it in a more constructive way. But people who aren't protecting themselves, the more you do it for yourself, the more people who don't have the best intentions won't try to do it for you. And the people who do have good intentions will allow you to do it for yourself, but will also try to do it for you because they know despite them doing it for you, you can do it for yourself. The sense of like, I can protect you. I don't have to protect you, but I want to protect you. When you have people, especially like a romantic interest, trying to do that for you, it's a different type of love rather than having to do it because I have to. It's less of a love and more of like a requirement when and it doesn't feel like it's coming out of their genuine interest. Like, oh, I want to protect you. You want someone who should want to protect you, who should want to provide for you. Not that they have to. They're perfectly aware that you can do it on your own, but they want to do it. Someone wants to do it out of their own heart. But like I said, you gotta actually come out of your comfort zone and pursue different opportunities, different ideas, different emotional perspectives, different mental perspectives. Like you gotta want to learn to do better in order to find better. Ooh, I like that. The Eight of Cups, letting go of connections that are no longer going to provide for you. Letting go of emotional attachments that aren't working to make you better. Mind you, this applies to you to other people as well, right? You gotta work on people, on the connections that you have. You gotta work with people. You gotta nurture those connections if they're of value to you. So it's time to start doing that as well. But any that you don't find value in, that you feel like you need to let go of for this year, it's time to make sure that you do let them go. Because for last year, that's what you were supposed to learn. Um, and then one more clarifier for the Five of Swords. Oh, thank you. The Two of Wands. There you go. It goes back to this one. Um, Once again, when you're on the path, like I was saying, you're gonna come across different people. But when you see a light, there's also darkness. With the darkness comes negativity, right? So not allowing the negativity to really take over and learning to really block it out and um, control the negativity to transmute that negative energy into power, into transformation, into growth, right? Okay. Alrighty. Um, we're not quite done yet, so there's another deck I want to do. I'll be right back. Okay. All of you is magic. I just got this deck. Oh, shit, I'm telling you, I'm buying shit that I shouldn't be buying, and it's affecting my abundance. I didn't need this deck, but I wanted it. It was like it's a cool deck. Ooh, ooh. Let's do one shuffle. I like it because it has like affirmations and guidance messages and stuff like that. So I thought that was cool. Okay. Let us see what our guys have to give us for this deck, please. What cosmic power needs to be unlocked for this coming year for 2025, my guys? It's a little hard to shuffle. Oh, there we go. Your third eye. Oh, shit. So I'm getting a third eye and also finding the beauty in your environment. Really taking in nature itself, allowing yourself to see. I don't know why the phrase romance is dead is popping up in my head. Letting go of what needs to be let go of. Once again, with the Eight of Cups, that's kind of what popped up. Allowing situations to reveal themselves to what they really are. Not romanticizing situations or particularly negative situations into what they should be, but really seeing them for what they are is what I'm getting. Even if that includes heartbreak. For this one, I'm getting like more of like, just smell the roses, find the beauty in life, really look at the perspective of life in a more beautiful way, right? Which kind of contradicts with this one, but I feel like this is just more your life in general. But this one involves more people. Like, more like if someone betrays you, accept it as a betrayal. Don't try to figure out why they try to betray you. Just accept it as it is. When someone doesn't come through for you, just accept that as a fact. Don't try to give it reason, and don't try to make excuses for them. Accept it as fact. While with this one, it's more like, despite the darkness that may surround you, find the beauty, find the light in things, appreciate nature more, go out more, enjoy the air, enjoy the sun, enjoy the beach, enjoy the rain, enjoy everything. Like, really find appreciation for your general life, right? Okay. All right. Doing what you can in this moment is all you need to do. There are no goalposts in healing, it's all magic. Sit with this message, listen to your heartbeats. Each calls you to slow down and go easy on yourself. Oh, okay. I like that. The love in your heart is sacred. It does not need validation or reciprocation to exist. It's here to open your heart, not control your circumstances. Write down some expectations you've tied to love, then visualize releasing them, allowing love to exist without goals or preconceived notions. Oh, let's do a couple more. Let's do a couple more. I like that. Oh, I'm gonna lie, this one's a little hard to shuffle. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Ooh. When it feels like you're back to step one, remember you're simply entering a new phase of the journey with lessons from the previous phase in hand. Visualize yourself standing on a staircase, look behind you, and see the many steps you've taken. Remind yourself of how far you've come. I like that. Your heart is always expanding and stretching to fit more love, experiences, and the truth that you can ever imagine. Visualize your heart as an elastic, growing with every experience. It is limitless. Oh, I like that too. See? All of you is magic. Um, let us see. Oh, no. Wrong one. One more deck, and then we will see. Well, we will end this message. How long has this been going on? It's like an hour. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. What transformation will be coming towards 2025, my guides? For the collective. Oops. That was not a good shuffle. What transformation will be coming in for the collective in 2025? All right. Let me see if I should do it this way. No. Okay. Alrighty. Let's make some space. The crow, griffin, the frog. Mind you, I don't know the meaning, so I'm gonna have to look them up. Let's see. Well, let's see. The crow, the griffin, and let's do 45. 25, 51. Oh, here we go. Death, psychic abilities. The crow is perhaps one of the most famous symbols of witchcraft and the occult, and is certainly an incredibly popular one. It is linked most often to psychic abilities, spiritual messages, and even death. As crows are gregarious creatures, it is common to see them in huge flocks. They can be quite noisy, making it nearly impossible to miss when they've crossed your path. When the crow card is present, it's time to pay attention to your psychic senses, messages, and to greet the doorway of death. Well, damn. Often when we speak of death through the metaphysical lens, we're speaking of a metaphorical death. No. There is an ending that is presenting itself to you now, whether you like it or not. It may feel painful and even downright scary to walk through this threshold and embrace this death, but we must prune away the dead leaves to allow energy to flow to the new growth. It is often through these deaths that spiritual awakenings and their accompanying psychic gifts emerge. It is here in the void that endless potential for creation is formed. Plants first grow under the dirt in the dark, fertile soil before they can break the surface to reach sunlight. Um, it's it's possible that plant allies may be a helpful resource to you at this stage in your life. It's no secret that a vast array of plants is used medicinally across many cultures. One of the most diverse groups of medicinal uses is found in the decomposers, mushrooms. They are more essential to life here on Earth than most people realize, and they too require darkness to thrive, or offering life its sustainability through the process of death. So, the crow, the end. I don't know why I was going to say the end is near. The end of situations, bringing lessons for spiritual awakenings, along with deeper intuition, stronger psychic abilities, a stronger sense of intuition, like I was saying, and stronger mental growth. Whatever type of death may come, right? Then we have Griffin here. Griffin. Where you at, Griffin? Oh, it's the last one. Okay. Number 86. Or page 86. The superconscious. The griffin is a mythical creature possessing the head, talons, and wings of an eagle. What was I saying with this card? But the body of a lion. Thanks to the fusing of these two powerful powerhouses, the griffin has often been used as a symbol of fierce power and impenetrable protection. While you'll never see one in real life, to see a griffin in your dreams is a compelling message from spirit. Thanks to the mythos of this being and the incredible height to which it soars, the griffin possesses an incredible vantage point that reveals potent truths we can obtain only through spiritual enlightenment or through tapping into the superconsciousness of the divine. If griffin energy is at play, you are in a rare and fated moment in your life, and it's time to pay attention. Interesting. Sometimes the griffin is depicted as being so large it can block out the sun. In this form, the griffin is known as Ziz, a creature formed from Jewish mythology that can also allow the light of the sun to come through if it so chooses. In both darkness and light, there are different experiences and truths to be found. There is time to sit in the dark and silence, and a time to step out in the illumination and warmth of the sun. In this way, we can grasp that the divine is in all things. It is both light and dark simultaneously. There is an appropriate time for both, and in this moment, you must discern which you need. Interesting. So, like it was saying, both light and darkness, whichever you're facing, whatever you need to do in that situation is what you need to do. But trust that you're going to face both. And when you're facing both, you'll learn the lessons that you have to learn in both sides. Okay. Frog. I hate facing the darkness. It's so rough. 75. Rana. What's that song called? Rana, Rana. Damn. I don't feel Mexican right now. What's that? Sana, sana, cultura. Purification, cleansing, grief. Just as amphibious frog spends its time in the water, the arrival of this card is a call to get in touch with the sacred elements of water. Take a shower or a bath, go to the ocean, visit a lake or a river, and allow the clear water to purify your soul. It may also be that you need a good cry, as the frog card can also represent the journey of grief. As much as people claim they don't enjoy crying, we often feel better after we do. To cry is to purge, to release all the things we've carried inside for just a little too long. If you have been grappling with the complicated journey of grief, it may be time to let it out and embrace the literal and metaphorical cleanse. However, consider also that sadness isn't the only reason people cry. There are tears of anger, frustration, exhaustion, and even joy. Whatever you're feeling, it needs to express itself through water, one way or another. Consider that our bodies are about 60% water. Consider also this quote by Isaac Dinesen: "The cure for anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea." Oh, interesting. So cry if you need to. So that is a message for 2025 and basically the lessons we had to learn for 2024 and what lessons will be coming for 2025. I hope it resonated and I hope the message was clear. Thank you for watching and take care. And like once again, Happy New Year.